Hey everybody, Justin from FrugalSnobs.com. What is up, YouTube? I brought Christian with me. Say hello.
Hello!
And we have another currency review video for everybody. We have quite a few views on our banknotes and coins.
Yes!
So check out all the other videos here on the channel, folks. Subscribe while you're here. And of course, get the notifications as well. And you can check out the Frugal Snobs podcast at FrugalSnobs.com. You'll find all the information you need there, as well as a link to donate on Patreon.
Yes.
I want to get that out of the way early.
Yes.
Fair? Okay, so what we have today for everybody is another banknote from Canada. Now, this is interesting. This is one of Christina's finds, and you did very well in picking up this note. You've wanted one for a while. This is the 1935 Canadian Bank of Commerce.
Yes.
$10 note. Now, a couple of things about this series. We couldn't find a whole lot about this series. It's a relatively low denomination series. Christina, you were saying that there's a 5, a 10, and a 20?
And that's it for that year.
Gotcha. And then, of course, this particular bank merged with the Imperial Bank of Canada, I think?
Yes.
To become the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce.
Yes, mouthful.
Yep. So the Canadian Bank of Commerce was established in 1867. It's probably one of Canada's first banks, I would think.
Probably because Canada was founded in 1867.
Yes. So we're assuming it was one of Canada's first banks, had branches all over the country. Eventually, it did merge with the Imperial Bank of Canada to become the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, which was defunct in 1961.
June of 1961.
Excuse me. Well, to quote dates here, this particular bill has an issue date, I think January 2nd, 1935.
Correct.
Multicolored, so typically with the Canadian Banknote Company or the Bank of Canada, etc., usually what we have is an official color.
Yes.
Of a banknote, right? So if you check out all the videos from the 1937 series, where we actually reviewed the 1, the 2, the 5, the 10, the 20, and the 50, there's usually an official color.
Yes.
Right? Now, in this case, we couldn't really find an official color for this particular note because it's so multicolored.
Yes.
So there's a ton of colors on this particular bill. In addition to that, this particular bill features a number of allegories.
Yes, and that's what really caught my attention.
So let's go ahead and talk about the front of the bill. But before you do, Christina, I just want to mention one other thing. That this particular bill, as you can see, folks, is purely in English.
Yes, there is no French.
Right. So the 1937 series is the first series of bilingual bills from a united Bank of Canada. So in this case, you still have regional banks in Canada at the time, from 1867 to 1935, all issuing their own denominations of currency. So in talking to Christina, what I had asked her was, well, what if I went to one of the other Canadian banks in 1935 for a $10 note? Would it look different? And yes.
It would. There's several different versions of the 10 until they unified.
Right. Right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the front side of this note.
The front side is actually black and white, but also color.
Mm-hmm.
The actual allegory image itself is black and white, but in the center there is a square, and that's where all these colors come into play.
Gotcha.
That's the watermarking effect.
Gotcha. Okay, so you have, what, 2 allegories in the front?
Three.
Excuse me.
3 allegories. One, I can only identify one of them, and that is Ceres, and she's the goddess of harvest.
Gotcha.
There's another one leaning against a bull.
Before you go any further, is that why when Ceres, or Ceres as you call it, on all of our other bills, particularly on the 1937 series, is that why she's always pictured with harvesty themes like wheat or barley or cornucopias and things? Got it. Okay. And your other allegory? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
On the other side, there's an allegory of male with 2 goats, and then in both corners there is a cherub holding a shield.
Gotcha.
On one shield, it's the actual digit 10, and on the other shield, it's an X, and it's...
So you have the Roman numeral and then the Latin number.
Yes, and then it crisscrosses, so in the upper left has an X, the upper right has a 10.
Interesting. Huh.
And in the center, there's like a shield-looking word 10, and then on the ribbon going around it, it has the digit 10, and underneath, dollars.
It's cool. I just say it's cool. All right, so let's check out the back side of the note.
All right. This is a little easier to describe. 2 allegories, 1 color.
Mm-hmm.
It is a blue tone, like blue scale tone.
Mm-hmm.
It has Apollo or Mercury, same, depending on Greek or Roman.
Yep.
And then, again, Ceres on the back.
Why does she get to be on both sides of this note?
I don't know.
And she's scandalous on the back. She's showing out exposed breast.
Yeah.
I gotcha. So.
And it's like, it kind of reminds me of the Michelangelo painting from the chapel, the Sistine Chapel. They're touching fingers.
Ah, interesting. Kind of
above.
Like Adam touching the finger with God.
Yes.
Interesting. Huh.
And then underneath that is the actual bank seal with a ship the harvest wheat stacks.
Mhm.
And around it says Canadian Bank of Commerce, EST 1867.
Told you.
And then above that, behind everything, there is actually a Union Jack flag with a crown.
Oh, that's really subtle. All right. So,
And then
good.
lower left-hand corner,
Mhm.
you have the science and technology where it has the machine cog in like almost like a pot. And then on the other side, it has like a pump, like gourds and grapes and.
So kind of you have the industrial age meets the agricultural age.
Yes.
Basically, kind of like the Industrial Revolution depiction.
Yes.
It's a cool bill.
Yes.
It's a very cool bill. You know, folks, we have been collecting Canadian coins and banknotes for a long time, and I think this is probably one of the cooler ones. I will admit, Christina said at first I would be jealous of this bill. Thinking, nah, it's not a big deal. I got my other quests to be on. I have conquests for coins and banknotes of my own. But I must admit, taking a closer look at this note, now that I've had time to actually look at it, it's a cool bill, and I am jealous. You did get this bill for a very nice price.
Yes.
You are going to be looking for probably the 5 and the 20 eventually.
Yes, just to finish the series of that year.
But for right now, it's a cool bill. You've been waiting a long time for it. You got a good deal on it, and it was a sleeper deal. So, all right, folks, you want to wrap this up?
Yes.
All right, folks, please do check out the Frugal Snobs podcast. You can check out everything that you need to know about the podcast at frugalsnobs.com. Also, links are there for checking out the podcast on all of your favorite podcast networks of choice. A link is there to also donate on Patreon. It helps us out. Make sure you subscribe while you're there. And also, while you're here on YouTube, check out the rest of the videos on the channel, particularly the 1937 series of Canadian banknotes. We recommend it with King George VI, and also all the other videos that we have here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already, and click for notifications. All right, folks, let's wrap this up. Be well, never pay retail, take care of yourself and each other.